indicate that there is a life form present.
Hello there, I'm Darren.
And I'm Doogie.
And today, for a little bit of difference, we are looking at The Mandalorian because it's on and it's awesome, and we want to make a few videos about it.
Well, really, it's just the kind of thing we've been watching anyway, and it's the best Star Wars right now. So, spoilers for this review, but yeah.
Respect to you, by the way, for your cosplay and stuff.
Respect to all of you for wearing your camouflage. It will help you go undetected.
Still can't see a thing in this helmet.
So yeah, one episode, a lot of stuff happening. Particularly liked all of the references to the holiday special.
Star Wars Holiday Special.
We had at least 4, maybe 5 minutes of talking in a different language without any subtitles. It was fantastic.
Sitting and talking.
Oh, and then standing and talking for a wee bit with flamethrower.
Yeah. Standing and talking, sitting and talking.
It's like Favreau and Filoni as well. They were like, okay, how do we make sitting and talking and standing and talking even more interesting than it already is?
Which is no mean feat, you know, because sitting and talking and standing and talking is the staple of Star Wars. It's what got us hooked.
Just like a boat maker, it's riveting. BS. Standing and talking. Extreme standing and talking.
Why did they not have a trailer like the Monster Truck Derby trailers where it's like standing and talking extreme?
So yes, Bing number 1 references to the holiday special. We got long periods of speaking in an alien language with no subtitles. Bing number 2. You know what? Because we've only been doing this recently, even back from the first season of Mando, his friggin' fork gun.
Settle down!
The weapon in my left hand, the Ambin Phase Pulse Blaster. First seen, of course, in the animated bit of the Star Wars Holiday Special. And he even uses it the same way. Spoilers. He electrocutes the Crate Dragon. The Crate Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're watching this video, I assume you've seen it already. Otherwise, spoilers for everything, because we're going to be just gushing over all of this episode. So yeah, you have been warned. Continue at your own peril.
Oh no, I think really that's it for the holiday special things.
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. All the 2 references. Don't say we didn't answer our promises.
We deliver. This is a YouTube channel that delivers.
Yeah.
So the first bar fight, we get our first look ever on screen of a vibro knife. That's freaking cool.
And vibro axes. Were those vibro axes of the Gamorreans?
Must have been.
Well, every time they struck each other, they give out like a blue shimmer around them. So I assume they were vibro axes. Also, like, they were Gamorreans, so it makes sense that they had vibro axes. But yeah, and a vibro knife.
Yeah. Also, one of the best shots I've ever seen in Star Wars was taken by a guy with no depth perception. That one-eyed guy took out the Gamorrean.
I did love that during the fight, the guy punched Mando in the head, and Mando headbutted the guy behind him. It was just dunk. And then he did it. I think he did it again. He did it twice.
See, I think that was a really, really nice bit of choreography as well, because you can almost see him Din working it out, where like he gets punched, he headbutts the guy, he staggers him, and then someone else punches his hand and it hurts their hand, and then Din goes up and headbutts the guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, that's a really nice kind of piece of, like, you're telling a story as you're going along with your fight choreography.
Insert Last Jedi throne room fight scene where the guard just drops the sword to let himself be stabbed by Rey.
The other guy just like wildly swings, misses.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that leads us probably to our first major point about The Mandalorian. You were saying earlier, Darren, it is the highest production fan film.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You can like just tell there's a wee bit of love and a wee bit of like, there's just a bit more in it. Like all those scenes with Timothy Olyphant, you're just like, someone just really loved this production and just kind of really wanted to tell this story. And yeah, definitely. I really like it. It's like the first season of Walking Dead. Someone give a shit. And not for anything other than I really like the idea of Mandalorians. I really like the idea of all this weird space religion to do with weapons and the kind of culture around it, creating good characters. Continuing on that almost spaghetti western type stuff.
Absolutely. Did you notice, like, whenever Mandalorian steps into the bar on Tatooine, and it's just the wee chink, chink of the spurs, it's just because his armor clinks, they fully were aware that was...
Oh, yeah. And even the dialogue when he walks in there, because he says something like, "Oh, we're not looking for any trouble." It's like, okay. Classic line. Like.
Yeah.
It's nice being back on Tatooine. It's like Tatooine's home base for Star Wars, I think. It's good being home.
Chewie, we're home.
Points finger, collects paycheck. So there was two different feelings for me in Rogue One when Dr. Ivanza and Panda Baba are like just randomly in Jeddah. I'm like, ugh, what? Well, how did they get there? Why did they get there? What are they doing here? At the same time, though, it was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it was a wee bit kind of like forced-y kind of fan service. And then whenever you seen the R5 unit in that opening scene in Tatooine, I was like, this is fan service I can get behind. It's like, I mean, it means nothing to anyone who's not a big Star Wars nerd, because it's just a robot, it's fine. But it's like, it makes sense for an R5 to be there. It makes sense for that particular R5 to be there. It's the R5 unit that blows its motivator at the start of episode 4. And you can even see the wee burn mark and the leakage at the back. It was just a really nice callback without being like too on the nose or inexplicable, if you know what I mean.
Well, I suppose like Panda Baba did say, I've got the death mark and
12 systems.
12 systems.
Death sentences and 12 systems.
Yeah.
Right enough, he was busy collecting them. Yeah. He was like, fuck. It used to be 13 systems and and then Jeddah happened.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
We also get our first look at a crate dragon, like an on-screen look at a crate dragon.
Yeah.
They give it Godzilla breath, but it's acid.
Yeah, that was amazing. I love, like you say, being back on Tatooine and just being able to explore that culture a bit more and see, the Tusken Raiders have a thing, and then they're fighting a crate dragon, like the scariest thing imaginable on that planet.
Absolutely, and that's the thing we've been like reading about, we've been Wikipediaing about for years, we've been like all that stuff, and it's like, it's just cool to see it. And it makes, as I think we were discussing this a while ago, it makes the whole Star Wars universe feel so much bigger. The sequels are set in a big galaxy, but it feels so condensed. I think you said before, and it just feels so small. Whereas this is set literally on our side of nowhere, like wee crappy planet. There's like a dust ball in the middle of nowhere, and it feels so big because there's so many cultures. You got Junkers, you have the Sand people, and actually exploring their culture was actually really cool because it's the first time we've seen a Sand person, working together and being reasonable and being able to reason with each other and kind of explore that because they do explore the conflict a lot more in the books and novels and comics, but never on screen. They've always just been a bad guy, So it was really cool to kind of see them working together and kind of working things out between the farmers and even that hint of, well, why is there a conflict? Whenever the Raider gives Timothy Oliphant's character whatever water they have, which is disgusting, and then he's like, first you steal all our water and now you won't even drink our water from us. It's like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, because they make a few references to that throughout the show to kind of build that up, because like as you said, it starts with the Tusken Raider saying about the village stealing their water, and then later on it talks about how the Tusken Raiders raided the town and killed like a dozen people or something, but then Timothy Oliphant, his character, goes back and kills about twice as many Tuskens, and it's just that ongoing conflict of like tit for tat, revenge being taken, and then like everything just going a step further each time and building up over time.
No, definitely. And part of that
hitting pretty close to home here, guys. And
part of that exploration of the Tusken Raiders culture, we see the true use of a gaffy stick. The wee nib.
Oh yeah.
It's used to clean a banta's teeth.
Yeah. And again, it makes sense. In the novels and stuff, anytime it brings up Tusken Raiders, it always talks about how a Tusken's bantha is like their life. The bantha is what provides for the Tusken Raider, so caring for your bantha is top priority, and that's why I was slightly disappointed, because I was hoping that they would actually go for the thing where the Tusken Raider stands with the bantha and gets willingly eaten with his bantha, because it's like, if the Krayt Dragon eats my bantha, I'm practically dead anyway. So if my bantha is gonna die, I'm gonna die with it. Kind of hoping they were going for that. I was a little disappointed they didn't. It was still funny because the Krayt Dragon comes out and eats the Tusken and leaves the bantha. Because the Tusken starts running away from the mouth of the cave, and all you see is the Krayt Dragon just comes out of this massive tunnel, just like a train, and eats the Tusken as he's running away.
Excellent meme potential.
Yeah. I do love the fact that the Krayt Dragon like swims through the sand.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic thing. It reminded me of Tremors as well, but just a fantastic concept, because it means, as it showed at the end when they were fighting it, it's burrowing underground, and so you don't know where it's coming up. And I thought it was really cool. Like, it came out of the solid rock.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to stay within the sand and sort of come up underneath it. But when it came up out of the rock at the top of the mountain and started spraying like acid over everyone, that was fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. A really cool concept. It really makes the Krayt Dragons a lot more scarier than they already were. Also, it's an excellent screw you to Dune. It's like, screw you, Dune, we did it before you did. Just there now. But the book's so old. It's like, doesn't matter. Got there first. Oh yeah, and then speaking of Krayt Dragon, we finally got what Obi-Wan was trying to do when he was making that noise.
Oh yes.
It sounds like this. It's just like crazy old man like screaming in the desert, and then it's like, right, okay, now we have context for this thing that they did again in 2011. Oh yes, and they brought back the blind hand pokey move, literally the move that killed Boba Fett. They brought it back.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know, but wish me luck.
Oh yes. Yeah, the Mandalorian whacks Cobb Vanth on the back with a stick, and it sets off a jetpack and he flies off. Again, it's just like, these jetpacks seem just very temperamental.
Yeah, well, I think it's that jetpack in particular, because they really go out of their way in this episode particularly to kind of show the difference between the two, like even to the noise or even the positioning of the jets. You know, and I think it's that kind of thing, that this particular jetpack is temperamental. And we've seen it before in episode 2 and then again in episode 6. Oh, I've seen it twice in episode 2. In fact, Django dies because of it again. You know? Yeah. Just how unreliable that model must be. I'm just thinking, actually, Luke probably would have drank the stanky water. He would have looked for the closest person he could make eye contact with. He would have stared into Baby Yoda's soul, drank it, and then went. Loves it. That's why they're making a Luke Skywalker series, so they can make him taste stuff.
Also done by Jon Favreau, because he likes cooking.
Yeah, and then one of the last callbacks was, I was watching them desiccate the corpse of the Krayt Dragon. Mando makes off with an excellent topside. And they pulled out. I was like, they're not going to do it, or they might do it. What's happening? Oh, are they going to do it? And they did it. It was a Krayt Dragon pearl. And I was like, just a nice wee Legends throwback. Like, why not? It was great. Yeah. And then we finish on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Sit down.
Take a seat, young Skywalker.
We've finished with Boba Fett, played by Tamara Morrison.
He hasn't aged very much, has he?
No, not at all. Well, the man's got over like 1 million clones, and 1 million more well on the way. But now here, he's looking badass.
Yeah.
Nice big scar on the face.
Mm-hmm.
10 out of 10 for Bob's.
Now, I know you'd mentioned this. I think you can maybe start to see why Pedro Pascal wanted more scenes without wearing his helmet, because we'll have Timothy Olyphant takes off his helmet and isn't wearing a helmet for most episode 1, and the end shot is Boba Fett without a helmet on and stuff. So it's like all these people that are kind of meant to be wearing helmets aren't, but he still has to the whole time.
Yeah. Plus, they're all great actors, and let's face it, the three of them, if they were on screen, like, they get a bit of screen time with Timothy Olyphant, and, you know, be able to actually show your face. I mean, don't get me wrong, Pedro Pascal is the greatest actor on this planet with a bucket on his head. Like, the man can emote.
It is like in the bar scene when he meets Cobb Vanth, and it's just like, give me the armor back, take it off, or I'll take it off. You just feel like, oh, he's serious.
Yeah.
And you get the mood change, but as you say, you can't see his expression, but you just feel it. You feel it in his body language, and it's an incredible skill or talent, whatever you want to call it, to be able to get that emotion across without showing your face.
Oh, yeah.
It is incredible.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. I think it's going to be, if anything, it's going to be important, I think, for this series. Like, I was saying to you on the drive over that I think, obviously, something has happened before episode 4, so around Rebels time, something's happened between the Rebels and whatever is now known as the Night of Tears that has made these guys, like the Mandalorians, take, I don't know, maybe it's an oath or something out there, because in Rebels and everything we've seen before that, Mandalorians take off their masks whenever. So there must be something that's happened that it's like an oath that if people are seen, they're not allowed to put their armor back on. And that's why at the end of it, we see Boba Fett without his armor, obviously, in the Tusken Raider gear. Maybe they're following kind of what the comics and novels did, where he gets out of the Sarlacc pit. And I know there's a couple alternatives. There's one where, like, he's found by Jawas and they think he's a droid and put a restraining bolt on him. And then there's one where he's found by Dengar.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is either Dengar or Jawas have found him. Obviously Jawas have found him and they've seen him without his mask, and then he's decided to stop being the Mandalorian. Which is kind of cool, because in Clone Wars, Jango Fett gets outed for being not a Mandalorian by Duchess Satine, but there's always in question of, is that true? Because I think he's officially registered as being born in Concord Dawn, which would make sense for him being Mandalorian and all that there. It's interesting to see what way they're going to build that story, because it is so open-ended, and there's been loads of wee hints at the Fetts and what's happened to the Mandalorians and stuff like that there.
Yeah, the one with Dengar, it's actually the trilogy of novels, and it's all about Boba Fett and getting his armor back and stuff.
Oh, and they're coming your way. Don't you worry, people. Well, that about wraps up this video, I think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let's look forward to episode 2 next week.
Can't wait to hear that music again. Beautiful soundtrack.
Bye.
Bye.